like just how quickly it would become like fucking lawless.
Yeah.
And we were like, somebody I was with was was pointing to the west side to try to get like fucking a cab, and I was like, no, let's go to the east side where there's electricity and people aren't just walking in the streets for no fucking reason. All of a sudden there was all like this police presence and stuff. It really kind of freaked me out, like how far like
I was here.
It's like 1 minute away from the Warriors.
Yeah, no, literally, dude, literally, like you just felt like this fucking feeling in the crowd where there was this one thing was taken out of the fucking recipe. And all of a sudden, like, if 40 things went sideways, and you could totally tell why the cops were there. And this was just like, you know, it was just one little grade. It was something up on 54th Street that affected about 20 blocks.
In 2003, they had the blackout of the whole northern East Sea. Like, all of New York went out for one day, and it went out during the day.
Okay.
And I remember I talked to my wife. I was like, where are you? She's like, we're having margaritas, everything closed. I go, get the fuck back up here. And because the street lights were gone, people were blowing through the fucking traffic signs, and like regular people had to direct traffic because people were almost getting killed. And then when it went dark, people started lighting barrels on fire. We went from 10th to 8th, and we had to turn around because there was people coming up behind the girls just grabbing their asses, going like that, and you can't see them because there's no lights. It's like being in the woods in Manhattan. You only had the moon. That was it. It was fucking petrifying.
Where was this?
It was here in Manhattan.
What, the last one?
It was like 2003, I think it was. The whole city went out for a night. And people on the 44th floor, the richest people, had to walk in the dark up 44 floors. And now every building has like glow in the dark stuff.
Still tell that story. That's like their one hardship.
I remember being on the stairwell, and I was on the 5th, so I was walking people up to the 5th with a flashlight I had because it was pitch dark, and these rich women didn't know what the fuck to do. They were like, can somebody walk me up to the 44th? We were like, nah, get the fuck out of here. And they had to walk back up with their little dogs. It was crazy. This city, if
you must have felt like a superhero for a night.
I felt like I lived on the 5th floor, so I was fine. It was the first time I was glad I was not wealthy. Like it worked out in my favor. One night I walked up to the 5th floor, and I had a fan. I remember I had a battery operated fan that I had that me and my wife just sat in front of because it was like 900 degrees. It was awesome too because all the bodegas had to give away all their ice cream.
No, so when anybody ever pitches that Anarchy shit, it's just like be in that shit for like a fucking half hour and feel the vibe. And
also the gang you're in is people in Broadway shows.
Yeah.
You don't feel secure. You know what I mean?
No, the worst one you want to read is the one that happened during the late 70s when this city was bankrupt. It was Summer of Sam and all of that.
There's a documentary on
that was the real deal. That was the real deal. Because this whole fucking city now looks like a big Bed Bath & Beyond now, what they did to it. They went too far as cleaning it up.
Was it in the 70s?
It was the looting and everything. Yeah, everything was looting and shut down, set on fire. I mean, it was crazy. And there was already, I think there was already a lack of police because they were losing funds and stuff. Yep. So they literally couldn't do anything. Have you seen that documentary, The 7-5?
Yes.
It's incredible,
about
isn't
the
it?
cop in the
playing
Brooklyn,
both sides,
East New York. That was pretty fucking bad.
It's one of my favorite documentaries. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was New York. I mean, we used to come here back in the day from Boston. It was
we got it right
up.
as Giuliani came in.
Right as he cleaned it up.
It was still a scary place, but he was starting to do stuff.
Didn't he start doing like 3 strikes in jail or something? Was that him or?
I don't remember, but I do know like all the ideas were the police commissioners, and once it worked, he got rid of him.
Yeah.
So he'd get the credit. Like that's how the story
They would go to
goes.
a park like Washington Square Park and put a mobile police unit, so there was a police station
right
at the park where the drug dealers were 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Thompson Square Park, when I first came down here, you just didn't go there. It was was a transient, not transient city, I don't call it. It was just like, remember in Scarface when they were all living in tents underneath the fucking overpass? It was like that, like needles around and shit. You didn't, as a white person, didn't go to Alphabet City.
Times Square, you didn't, I mean, at a certain
Times Square
time
was
of night
all
you left.
creeps fucking jerking off and shit, dude. It was fucking...
I went to an underground strip club. Maceo took me to an underground strip club. It was just in a parking lot building, and there was just these 2 bouncers with metal detectors, and they buzz you, and you went into a room, and it was the most horrific shit I've ever seen. I just remember I walked up to the bar and I said, "Excuse me," and the bartender was getting like finger blasted by a guy.